Welcome to Pod Studio, level up your fluency from trending topics. Today we are going to talk about ChatGPT for writers, 5 creative uses.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we dig into the key insights from interesting sources.
Glad to be diving in.
So today we're tackling something that, let's be honest, makes a lot of people a bit uneasy, especially creative types.
Oh, yeah. AI and writing, put those together and, well?
Right. You immediately think about, I don't know, being replaced or your work losing its originality. There's this kind of creative dread almost.
It's totally understandable. And look, the disruption is real. The article we're looking at today, 5 creative uses of ChatGPT for writers from Ella Ventures, it makes a point that since around 2024, the content writing world really has seen a big shift.
How so?
Well, some clients actually started moving from freelance writers towards using AI. It's here, you know. And the AI itself, the quality, it's gotten much, much better. We can't really pretend it's not happening.
Okay, so reality check acknowledged. But
Yeah.
what if there's another angle? What if this technology isn't purely a threat? Could it actually be like a helpful sidekick, a virtual writing buddy?
That's exactly the angle this piece takes.
So our mission today is to sort of cut through that initial fear, maybe, and show you some practical, even imaginative ways you could use ChatGPT. Not to write for you, definitely not that,
No, that's crucial.
but to maybe boost your own voice, spark ideas, help you get over those humps we all hit.
Exactly. Think of this as your quick guide to getting up to speed on this, well, disruptive tech. We're pulling from this Ella Ventures article, originally from May 2023, but updated quite a bit in Feb 2025, and hopefully giving you some surprising facts and real takeaways you can actually use.
Okay, so the foundation first, the big rule from the article.
Yeah, the absolute core principle is do not get ChatGPT to do the actual writing itself for you. That's usually where the frustration comes in.
Why is that?
Because it likely won't sound like you. It won't have your quality, your nuance, without just tons of editing. You end up spending more time fixing it than if you'd just written it yourself.
Right, okay, so not a replacement writer.
Definitely not. Think of it instead as, yeah, that virtual writing buddy.
Ooh.
Or a powerful assistant, someone tireless you can bounce ideas off who can help you when you're blocked, or maybe just check if your outline makes sense.
Okay, I like that framing. A buddy, an assistant. So where does this buddy first come in handy? What's use number 1?
Well, where do most writing journeys stall? Right at the beginning.
The blank page, staring at nothing.
Bingo. That feeling of having zero ideas, or maybe you look at prompt lists online and they're just, they don't spark anything.
Yeah, been there. So ChatGPT can help with that.
Yes. And the cool thing is getting bespoke prompts, moving beyond those generic lists to something tailored just for you. It turns that paralysis into, like, directed brainstorming.
Okay, how does that work? Give me an example.
The article, author loves using 3 nouns prompts for short stories. So they asked ChatGPT something like, I want 10 writing prompts for short story writers. Each prompt should just be 3 nouns, 2 common, 1 uncommon.
Okay, intriguing. What did it come up with?
Stuff like couch, magnifying glass, aurora,
Whoa, okay.
or violin, storm, labyrinth. Another one, coffee shop, tangerine, echo, and attic, envelope, tornado.
Wow, they're really evocative, aren't they? They immediately make you wonder what the story is.
Exactly. They create these unexpected connections, and that's often where creativity really gets going. And you're not limited to nouns.
Oh.
The piece mentions you could ask for, say, 10 one-sentence story starters that could work for multiple genres, or 10 opening lines of dialogue that create intrigue, or even like 10 story situations, each with 2 characters and a conflict.
Huh. So you can get really specific with the kind of prompt you need.
Totally tailored. So for you listening, next time you're stuck, think about that. Instead of a generic list, ask for exactly what might spark your project.
Okay, that's genuinely useful for getting started. But what about, when you're already in the story and you hit a wall, like the plot's not working or a character feels flat?
Ah, yes. The dreaded middle muddle. That's the second creative use. Getting help solving specific writing problems.
It's like having someone to talk it through with.
Kind of. Like a dedicated sounding board, yeah. Someone or something that can help you untangle narrative knots or figure out how to deal with tricky feedback, maybe offering angles you hadn't considered because you're just too close to it.
Makes sense. So how would that work in practice?
The article uses a romance novel example. Let's say you feel your plot is just too simple. It needs more layers.
Okay.
You could prompt ChatGPT, my romance novel feels too simple and needs more depth. Can you give me some ideas to complicate the plot?
And it gives you ideas.
Yep. It apparently gave 10 pretty solid suggestions. Things like introduce a compelling external conflict, maybe career stuff, family getting in the way, social pressures.
Right, classic obstacles.
Or weave in a love triangle, maybe someone from the past reappears. Or give the characters opposing goals. That always creates tension.
Sure does.
Also things like add a secret or a betrayal, introduce a wrong first impression, put in a high-stakes decision or a shared challenge or crisis they have to face together.
That's quite a list.
Yeah, even things like playing with timing or distance, adding emotional baggage. Lots of angles.
And I guess the key is these are starting points.
Exactly. The article notes that because the prompt was quite general, my romance novel, the ideas were a bit generic. But if you give it more detail about your actual work in progress, your characters, your specific plot points, the suggestions it gives back can become much more tailored and useful.
Gotcha. So think about your own writing snags. Those plot holes or character issues you keep circling back to, this could be a way to maybe shake loose a new solution.
Definitely worth trying. And this idea, structure, and getting help with problems leads nicely into the third use.
Which is?
Using ChatGPT for outlining, particularly for nonfiction, maybe blog posts or articles.
Outlining. The thing we know we should do.
But maybe sometimes skip.
Yeah.
Yeah. But outlines are so important for clarity, making sure you cover everything logically.
So how does AI help here? Is it writing the outline for you?
It can generate an outline, yes. But the real value might be using it as like a check, a second pair of eyes on an outline you've already drafted, or getting a structure suggestion to make sure you're being thorough, especially maybe for SEO content where hitting certain points is key.
Okay, efficiency and thoroughness. Got it. Example.
Yeah. The prompt used was, I'm writing a blog post about finding the courage to put your writing out there. Could you suggest a title and write an outline? The post will be about 1,200 words. It suggested a title, Braving the Blank Page, Finding the Courage to Share Your Writing with the World. It's pretty decent.
Yeah, not bad. And the outline.
Quite detailed. It broke it down into an introduction, then 4 main sections, things like understanding the fear, why your writing matters, small steps to start sharing, handling feedback, and then a conclusion.
Did you give more detail within those sections?
Oh, yeah. Each section had a suggested word count and specific bullet points. Like, under small steps, it suggested mentioning publishing anonymously as an option. And the conclusion included a call to action, challenge the reader to share something small in the next week.
Huh. Those are actually really practical, concrete suggestions, things you might forget if you were just rushing.
Exactly. So for you, if you're putting together a report or an article or even planning a presentation, imagine having that kind of check, making sure your structure is solid, you haven't missed key points. It could save a lot of time and just give you peace of mind.
That makes a lot of sense. Structure, clarity.
Yeah.
Okay. Use number 4.
This one's interesting. Using ChatGPT to create example text.
Example text, like what for?
Well, imagine you're writing a how-to article about, say, writing dialogue. You need an example of dialogue, right?
Sure.
But maybe you don't want to pull one from an existing book, and you don't want to spend half an hour crafting the perfect little scene just for that illustration.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you asked ChatGPT to write a quick example for you.
Precisely. It's about generating unique, specific content, purely for illustrative purposes. Super useful for anything educational or instructional. You get a custom example on demand without using existing work or derailing your own writing flow.
Okay, that's clever. Did the article have an example of this?
It did. The author needed a quick 200-word short story example, specifically one with lots of dialogue featuring a couple in their 50s, Sue and John, going on their first cruise.
Very specific.
Yeah, and the prompt was basically just that. Please write me a 200-word short story, beginning, middle, end, with lots of dialogue. Characters: Sue and John, 50s, first cruise.
And what came out?
A little story called All Aboard. Had lines like Sue saying, I can't believe we're actually doing this, gripping her ticket. John replies, and buffets. Don't forget the buffets. Later, Sue says, actually, I signed us up for salsa dancing at 6. And John just groans, Sue.
Okay, that sounds pretty natural, like a real little scene.
Yeah, it served the purpose perfectly. And here's something really interesting the article pointed out.
What's that?
The author noted that the AI's ability to write decent fiction and dialogue had improved massively between mid-2023, when they first tried this prompt, and early 2025 when they updated the article. Same prompt, much better result later on.
Wow. So the tech itself is evolving fast.
Incredibly fast. So think about how you could use that. Need a quick scenario for a presentation, sample marketing copy, just some unique dialogue to help you flesh out a character you're struggling with. it's a tool for that.
Okay, cool. That brings us to the fifth and final use.
Yes, and this one might be music to the ears of certain writers.
Oh, which ones?
The pantsers. The writers who prefer writing by the seat of their pants, discovering the story as they go, rather than meticulously plotting everything out beforehand.
Yes. The eternal plotter versus pantser debate. I know many writers who just start writing and see where it leads.
Right, but sometimes that can lead to, well, bit of a mess. Lots of great ideas, but they're scattered, maybe contradictory, hard to see the overall shape of the story.
So how does AI help the pantser without forcing them into being a plotter?
It acts as an organizer after the messy creation phase. It helps bring structure to those spontaneous ideas without killing the initial spark. It's like a bridge from that free-flowing brainstorm to something more coherent, taking the chaos and making it manageable.
Okay, I'm intrigued. How does that work?
Imagine you've pantsed your way through several chapters, or maybe just have pages and pages of random notes, character ideas, plot snippets, bits of dialogue, themes.
A familiar state for many writers, I suspect.
Quite possibly. So the author tried this prompt. Please go through all these rough notes for a novel, take the best ideas, and format them into a coherent novel outline. Add material as needed, but please note what you've added that isn't in the original notes.
Woo! You just feed it all your messy notes.
Apparently, yes. And the result was that ChatGPT took all those disparate ideas and actually organized them into a standard 3-act structure outline.
No way.
Yes, with bullet points for each act. And, importantly, it flagged the parts it had added suggestions to fill gaps or connect ideas, distinguishing them from the writer's original material.
That's amazing. So you get your own ideas organized, plus some suggestions, but you know which is which.
Exactly. It gives you a potential path forward, a structure to work with, using your raw material. Imagine having your scattered thoughts suddenly presented back to you in a clear story arc. It could save so much time and frustration just trying to figure out what you actually have.
That sounds incredibly useful, especially for novelists, maybe. It lets you keep that discovery writing style, but then gives you a tool to make sense of it all afterwards.
Precisely. A plotter's tool for the pantser, almost.
Okay, so those are the 5 uses. Prompts, problem solving, outlining help, example generation, and organizing messy notes. We've covered a lot of ground. What's the big takeaway here, the core message from this deep dive?
I think it really boils down to this. AI is a tool, and like any tool, its usefulness depends entirely on how you wield it. The quality of what you get out is directly tied to the quality of what you put in.
The old garbage in, garbage out principle.
Kind of, but maybe more like generic in, generic out, and specific in, helpful out. If you give it vague instructions, expect vague results. But if you learn to craft detailed, thoughtful prompts, that's where the magic happens.
It forces you to be clearer in your own thinking first.
Exactly. You have to articulate what you need, which is a useful exercise in itself. It really reinforces that idea of being an assistant or a buddy. It's there to help you brainstorm, organize, push past blocks.
But it's not going to replicate your voice.
Never. Your unique perspective, your creativity, your genius, that's all still you. That's the human element it can't replace.
Did the article mention any other user experiences, like in comments?
Yeah, briefly, it mentions someone called Emma finding Bing AI useful because it actually provides links and cite sources, which ChatGPT doesn't always do reliably. Another person, Sherry, echoed the usefulness for outlines and ideas, and even mentioned using it for SEO, help getting assistance crafting content that search engines like, which helps readers find it.
So different people finding different specific benefits, but all reinforcing that it's a tool to be used strategically.
Right. It all points to the same conclusion. AI is here, it's evolving, and despite the initial concerns, if you understand what it can and can't do, you can find ways to make it work for you. It's about becoming an informed user, not just a passive observer or a fearful opponent.
Turning a potential threat into an actual ally in your creative process.
Well put.
Okay, so just to recap, we've seen ChatGPT not as the scary replacement, but as a really versatile virtual assistant. It can spark ideas with custom prompts, help untangle plot knots, structure your thinking for outlines, generate quick examples on demand, and even bring order to chaotic novel notes.
It's basically another tool in the writer's toolkit, offering new ways to be productive and maybe even dig deeper creatively without losing what makes your writing yours.
So the challenge for you listening, what's one small way you could experiment with this virtual buddy idea this week? Maybe just ask it for some weird writing prompts like those noun ones.
Or feed it a problem you're stuck on in a current project. Or ask it for an outline structure for that blog post you've been meaning to write.
Just try one focused, thoughtful prompt and see what happens. See how it might open up a new possibility in your own work.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. In this world absolutely swimming in information, where creative blocks are just part of the deal, how might tools like this, if we use them smartly, not just make us more productive, but actually more creatively liberated? How can they help clear the clutter so our own unique human genius has more space to shine?